Excuse me. Anyway, I didn't see you guys come in here. I'm Brady from Serious Creatures, and last time I drew some Star Wars good guys, and I was practicing my little bad guy lightsabering and accidentally hurt myself, but I figured today we can practice some bad guy drawing. So if you'll join me in my magic computer and we will see what we can do.
Okay, welcome to Inside My Magic Computer. Let's look at drawing Star Wars bad guys. Previously, in my other tutorial, I talked about drawing Star Wars good guys and the shapes that the original shapes and then their special shapes. So to review, the special shapes or the regular shapes are just what do people look like. Good news, Star Wars bad guys, very much like Star Wars good guys, are played in the movies by people. So they pretty much look like people. What is people? People is just a circle for a head and kind of a body, rounded square, some arms, and some legs. Cool. So you're in luck there. Now, so if I just drew this, if I just drew a head, a body shape, some legs, right? This could be your neighbor, Jonathan, or your good friend, Archimedes. It could be anybody because probably all of your friends are people. Unless you have imaginary friends like me, which are sometimes not people, but we won't get into that because sometimes people get a little confused by that. So we got people, right? Okay, good. Now, so we got this people drawing here, and we're going to erase because you know who my number 2 best friend is? My number 2 best friend is my eraser. All right. So we now have a people. Well, that doesn't look very much like Darth Vader, you say, and I say, you know what? You're right. That doesn't look very much like Darth Vader. That looks very much like a anonymous people. So all you got to do with Darth Vader is find out their special shapes. So look at Darth Vader. What is his special shapes? Other than his bizarre Peter Pan stance, because I guess when you're the boss of all bad things, you can stand that kind of funny way, and no one's going to say, Darth Vader, you look silly, because he would be like, boom, force choke. And you don't want to be force choked, so you let Darth Vader stand any way he pleases because he's freaking Darth Vader. So what are his special things? His special things, of course, helmet. Number 2 special thing, course, awesome cape. Number 3 special thing, his armor. All right, so we have our beginning drawing of Darth Vader because it's a person, and Darth Vader is kind of a person. Well, he's half robot, but whatever. We go into Star Wars lore later. Let's start drawing because that's more fun than me talking. Okay, so draw the outline, basic shape, and now you're going to dress him. So let's see. So if we've got kind of the head here, he's going to want this shape, which is kind of a rounded square and then some triangles on it. So a rounded square with some triangles. That looks a whole lot like hair or something. I didn't do that right, so I'm going to erase. Why? Eraser's my best friend, number 2. Disaster. Did it wrong again. Okay. That looks like hair. Don't be afraid. It's not hair because it's a helmet, but you have to know where to put the helmet. That's why we draw the head first. Then we're going to put some eyes in, but his eyes aren't like normal eyes. Like normal eyes kind of look like this or like this, whatever. His eyes are a different shape because they're kind of glasses, so it's more like drawing glasses. So let's see, what shape is Darth Vader's glass face eyes? Kind of like that. So kind of a rounded rectangle. So we're going to go rounded rectangle, badoo, rounded rectangle number 3. 3, that's number 2. And then he has a legit triangle mouth with kind of this half round square, half square nose. So we're going to go half round square plus mouth that looks like this. He's also got some cool circles here, so maybe put circles there. All right. Now, where does his helmet end? Well, his helmet doesn't just look like, you know, this. It's got the faceplate, so we need to knock out this part here and bring in this guy. It's gonna look like this. Erase some of this, and his face, his cheekbones are also kind of square, so we're gonna kind of go make some lines. All right, so gotta make them dark because so we all know that it's Darth Vader. All right, so now we're just gonna kind of clean it up, make it look nice. Oh, that was too far. How far does this go? This goes like right here. So we're gonna go like this, like that. All right, we've already started our Darth Vader. Now look at his neck. His neck doesn't go up all that way, so we're gonna kind of draw this, and he has this triangle right here, so we'll have kind of a triangle there. All right, so we have our beginning Darth Vader helmet. Now he's got to have his body. So the body comes out here, but he also has all this armor on it. So let's see where the armor is. So the armor, he has the shoulder armor. Big, awesome shoulder armor, like this. Right? So we got some shoulder armor. Then he's got this square here where all of his breathing mechanisms happen. And so you just got to put little lines, little wonky-doos here, like, yeah, that's where it says, oh, that's apparently where all my important stuff goes. All right, now we're going to give him his body a little bit different this way. So with that, we have our beginning part of Darth Vader. He's got a belt, so we can have some belt here. He's got this guy. So, all right, look. And then his legs are just kind of like, you know, just more or less like normal legs. All right, and then he has Darth Vader boots, which are quite fancy as boots go, because bad guys generally wear boots. Do you see bad guys with tennis shoes? No, unless it's about running bad guys. And then he also has some gloves, so as he stands here in his Peter Pan stance, he's got some gloves. All right, good. So there we have Darth Vader. No, you've already said it, like, Brady, that is not Darth Vader. And I'm like, why is it not Darth Vader? You know what I'm missing? Boom, cape. Darth Vader does not rock anywhere outside of his room without his cape, because you know what a cape tells me? Bad guy. So we're going to draw some cape, and so the cape is going to go outside his body and then almost to the floor. Like just rest on his shoulders and go outside almost to the floor. So we're going to start here, go outside the shoulders, and then almost to the floor, outside his shoulders, and then almost to the floor. It's actually, you actually don't see this part of his arm because it's behind the cape. So what we're going to do is erase this part. And this is why you always draw the underdrawing. The underdrawing lets you know where all of the important costume pieces go. If I started with a cape, I would totally do it all wrong. So, and then we're going to draw the rest of the cape here, the rest of the cape here. I'm going to draw the cape behind him. Boom! Darth Vader. I'll spare you the heavy breathing noises. Actually, look at his cape. His hat actually doesn't go straight across, like I've made a mistake here. It actually goes like this. So let's use our friend the eraser. Boom, boom. Darth Vader. All right, so we have Darth Vader here, and you know, you can pretty much do any kind of shape, and if you add this kind of helmet on it, it'll end up looking a bit like Darth Vader. So if I was, you know, normally coloring, I would color in this section here because it's all dark. I don't want, you know, so we color it in dark. I can add some more details, like this guy here. This says, tells me even more that it's Darth Vader. And then I would color in here because this is really dark. I'll color all this in. And then he'd start looking like the boss Darth Vader that we want him to be. You can play around with different shapes, all kinds of different stuff. So maybe you want like big fat Darth Vader, you know, because you're like, Darth Vader has been eating a lot of pizza. So if Darth Vader has been having way more pizza than is probably necessary to be the Dark Lord. Wait a minute, is the Dark Lord? No, Dark Lord is not Darth Vader. That's Voldemort. Anyway, sorry, wrong series. So let's draw the little pieces that we know about Darth Vader. Bing, 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 bing. Hat, like so. It's not a little girl. Oh, that's a disaster. I need to erase that. Here, here, and then erase this. It ends up looking, especially if he has like little arms and he's like, "Hi, I'm a Sith Lord. Please be afraid of me, because I've got an awesome lightsaber, and I can force choke you if I don't like you." So this is how you know that it's Darth Vader. Then, but he's got to have that cape, right? Ooh, cape. But it's got to go a little bit in front. It's actually go around his arm, because that's how capes work. So it goes around his arm here. It's going to go behind and around his arm like this. And we erase these parts because we don't need them, because we can't see them. But we had to draw them in first so that we could know where they go. We've got to draw his shoulder armor like this, his breathing little control computer, his belt, and now we have, oh, he's also going to have his, you know, his gloves, because he's Darth Vader, and Darth Vaders have gloves. And then we want to give him boots. He's got his boots. Okay, now look, now we got a Darth Vader that just looks like Fat Vader. And I'm not sure if Fat Vader is super intimidating or not. But if he can use the dark side of the Force, well, no, maybe he's going to be scary anyway. So my point with drawing Fat Pizza Vader is that you can draw any shape, but you draw the special shapes, and the special shapes tell your viewer that, hey, I'm not just drawing a round fat person, I'm drawing Fat Vader. Okay, more good news. Let's look at this. Bing, bing, doop. Same deal. Welcome to Star Wars, because everybody's played by people. Same deal, you just draw a person's shape and then put on the rounded stormtrooper helmet, and it will look like a stormtrooper. So let's try it again. Head shape, body. We're going to have, instead of like that really bizarre Peter Pan pose that Darth Vader was in, because if a stormtrooper stood like that, everybody would be like, dude, stormtrooper, you look kind of like a doofus. Don't be standing like that. So stormtroopers got to stand different. They're going to stand like, say, man, I got my gun right here. And over here, I got my Imperial coffee. Okay, so this is how stormtrooper's going to stand. All right, so we're going to have his legs down here. All right. Looks nothing like a stormtrooper. I know that, but it's because I have to always, always, always draw the underparts, like the shell or the skeleton first. But then I add all of my pieces. So I make my arms here. This guy's going to be his hand holding the Imperial coffee mug, and because he loves his morning coffee. This hand is going to be holding this blaster. So he's going to have his hand up like that. And he's going to have his blaster. What does a blaster look like? I don't know. We have to look at better pictures of blasters to find out what they look like. Appears to have this little mechanism. Okay, good. So he's got his hand on the blaster. All right. We're going to have his thumb up like this. Okay, good. So he's got a blaster. He's got some coffee. Now he needs his helmet. So we've got his head. His head is going to be here. So let's draw the rest of the helmet. So the helmet will rest a little bit over the top of his head in this kind of shape, kind of like that. Now his eyes are like triangles, yes? So kind of like this triangle shape. He doesn't really have much for nose, but he does have this breathing mask. So his breathing mask is kind of like this shape, and it's kind of round. It comes in like this, right? So we're going to have some rounded shapes in here. So remember, we draw that under so that we can erase it. so we have a good idea where this stuff goes. It's got a circle, then it's got kind of this little jobber here, all right? And then comes out, connects. So let's go erase all of the under parts. Okay, it has this black line, this like that, and then it has his little hat marker here. This is all black. I'm going to color it in. And then you can kind of like see if you want to put some details. So maybe I want the details like this seem cool. Okay. It's also black in here. Okay. It's starting to look a little bit like a stormtrooper. We can put some more little details. Remember, the details come after you've already drawn the basic shape. So this is my special shape, which is here. And now we're going to just draw the rest of the stormtrooper. So he's got kind of armor up here. We erase in here. Remember, you cannot just go jump ahead and say, I'm just going to draw a stormtrooper. I'm going to just start drawing all the armor. False. No, you're not. It's not going to look that good. And it will look a lot better if you start and do it the long way. I promise you, I tried that for forever, and it was always bad. Okay. So this is kind of, he's wearing his tank top armor shirt here. He's got this. Then he's got armor here. Armor up here. So here, armor, armor. Armor here. Armor here. A little bit of erasing. All right. And then he has, look at what else this shape is. This looks like a little shirt. So he's going to have, I started the shirt. Now we've got this shape. He's got his cool belt like this. This stormtrooper looks like he has for sure not been foregoing the Imperial donuts. A little rotund for a stormtrooper. But that's okay, because if you lived on a Death Star, it would be super boring unless you're blowing up planets. Then, you know, so I'd be eating a lot of donuts too. Okay, cool. So his legs, look at his legs. What do we got going on here? We have this piece, and then his legs are always kind of these little columns here. And we've got a little jobber here, a little jobber here. And next thing you know, we have ourselves more or less a quick little stormtrooper. All right, look at him. Is it perfect? No, but it's fun, right? You know, if you wanted to get it perfect, then you'd start the exact same way as I did, but then you would just spend a lot more time. You'd start the same way with the initial underskeleton, and you would keep building it slowly, slowly, slowly. And if it doesn't look right to you, then look at it and see, where does it not look right? And you're like, well, maybe his helmet needs to come down further, you know? And so, all right, so his helmet's going to come down further. And I want to show you this because I never draw everything right the first time. Never. Nobody does. Nobody gets it right the first time. You have to just keep drawing and keep fiddling, and then at one point you'll go, okay, that looks pretty good. And then you'll just, you know, then you can keep it. So don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. I also kind of think his head's a little bit more square-ish than perfectly round. Yeah, now it's starting to even look a little better. So you keep fiddling, and then if it doesn't work right the first time, that's okay. And you can redraw it, you can keep erasing, all that kind of stuff. I can't tell you how many times I keep drawing and drawing and drawing to try to get this stuff right. So here's my friend, the stormtrooper, who has not been neglecting the donut shop on the Death Star. I mean, he's got some sweet coffee here. So if we want to continue the drawing, we're going to have a cool Death Star here. I only know how to draw the Death Star because I've drawn it a lot of times, and I know what my friend the Death Star kind of looks like, you know. So he's got the Death Star, and he's all like, there's this terrible planet here where they don't have any coffee. And he's like, this is the Death Star, man. I need my coffee. And so he's going, doo, 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 doo. And then he makes that great noise. And then he goes, you know, then it blows all the business up. And this guy's all like, cheers. I got more coffee because this terrible planet said, we're not going to have any coffee. And Death Star says, no, dog, I'm going to come up in there and I'm going to blow you out the business because coffee is the best thing. Hey, you know what? You may not be even drinking coffee, but Maybe your parents do, or maybe you know somebody that does drink coffee, and that's kind of sometimes how they feel about it. His gun right here isn't looking all that great, so you know what I would do is that I would kind of spend some more time looking at the gun, seeing what exactly does the Stormtrooper gun look like. I don't know what one looks like, so I'd have to go either in books or something and try to see what it looks like, and then I can start trying to draw it better. Okay, so here's some bad guys: Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, and in the end, the same thing you'll be able to do with Boba Fett. Boba Fett, best bad guy ever, is basically the exact same thing. You just draw body shape, but his important special features are his helmet. So you just kind of draw his helmet. You know, he's got this cool visor because he's Boba Fett, and Boba Fett is tremendously cool. And he's got a little jobber here. What's this thing about? Well, forever I didn't have any idea what this thing was. I thought it was like an antenna. But then I saw in Star Wars Rebels that it's actually this cool kind of like binocular jobber thing. Okay, look. So then go back and erase the head lines that were my guide. You know, and now I got Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Sorry, I was being Han Solo there. Yeah, so then you color this guy in, and next thing you know, look at there. You're good. Everybody knows Boba Fett. Then you just draw all the rest of his armor, but you would just draw the body, legs, hands. So this one, he's got his arm bent like that. So you start off with just where it begins. You draw the elbows, and then you come back and put in all of your armor and his chest piece armor, because his chest piece armor is very distinct, and especially with color and all that stuff. Anyway, you get the idea. But all you got to do, draw the people, or draw under people shape, then the general shapes, then the special shapes, and you get all kind of fun stuff. I hope you have a good time drawing Star Wars bad guys, and I would love to see them. If you have the opportunity, just show me on the internet. Okay, cool. Take it easy. Have a good time.